Hey, it's me, Maddie. In the year 2033, I became the CEO of Mad Construction Corporation, currently the top construction company in the Philippines. Not just that, I also cover fashion magazines and architectural structural digest representing the Philippines to other countries in terms of engineering and design. Now, you're probably wondering how I got here. So here's the story. First, let's go back to 10 years ago. It all started in the year 2023, January 25, 8:51 p.m. I was busy typing an essay that was due the next day. I was in my fourth year in college at that time, and yes, I was a procrastinator. That is why I'm cramming. I have my reasons though. You see, in my 22 years of existence here on planet Earth, I have already seen the worst side of the world starting at a very young age. I left my home when I was only 15 years old and started living by myself. My family is not wealthy. In fact, we are dead broke. The moment I left home, I scavenged for a job and it took me forever to find one that accepted me since I was only 15, underage. But I got lucky, so I was accepted to this job as a fast food attendant. They're quite hesitant at first, but I convinced them. I worked multiple jobs like grocery store cashier, restaurant hostess, barista, kennel assistant, and car wash attendant. I was pretty energetic back then that I was able to pull off those jobs at a time. Well, thank God I'm smart. Also, I'm quite happy because finally, I'm free. And by that, I was able to provide for myself and save enough money for school. Education is a powerful tool for success, someone said, and I believe that. Back in 2023, I was typing, cramming my essay because I worked as a call center at that time, and every time I went home, I was pretty wasted and decided to sleep rather than finish my homework. My essay was all about what would I be 10 years from now, and that cracked me good, so I just typed, 10 years from now, I would be a CEO of a construction company that will be the best company in the entire Philippines. Of course, I lied. That time, I just laughed at myself and get this essay over with because I was tired and wanted to sleep. You see, college ain't fun anymore, and I'm barely hanging. Aside from that, I took a very exciting degree. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, major in Structural. See? How much more suffering do I want from this life? Ugh. The movie Three Idiots is to blame for this. I was inspired and moved so much that I'm here pursuing this not so hard degree. Life in college is different. Before, I thought I could get through this if I worked hard on my studies and had a part-time job at the same time. Just like what I did in high school, and I was an honor roll too. But the moment I stepped into the University of M, I had this feeling that my whole life just flashed before my eyes that made my tears run down to my cheeks. I just can't believe that I made it to college despite my situation. I was thankful and happy, but then it hit me harder than I thought. First year in college, I was confident and composed to the point that some students and professors were quite intimidated by me. I aced my examination while working as a call center agent. I did pretty good. Great. In fact, I made it to the Dean's Lister in the first year. Suddenly, when I was walking along the hallway, Cupid decided to show up, pointed his arrow towards me, and let it fly. I was in love, and I was not prepared for what was coming. Here's the tea. His name is Jacob. He is a sweet talker. Maybe that's why I fell in love with him. Aside from the fact that he is tall, tan, cute, pretty talented as well, and he is a classmate of mine. In a classroom consisting of 8 columns and 5 rows, I am sitting in the front chair in the 3rd column, while Jacob is sitting in the 5th column in the 3rd row. Oh, I adore his smile and cute little gaze the moment he found out that I was staring at him. Wait, what? Yep, he is looking at me now. Oh, what am I thinking? Staring at him out of the blue. Then he said all of a sudden, "Hey there, Miss International." He calls me that often since I always speak in international language in every reporting and oral station. Don't call me that, it's cringe. But deep inside, I was bursting in embarrassment because first, he caught me staring at him, and second, Miss International? It really is cringe. But Jacob said it, so it was cute. Anyway, I was already embarrassed that it was, and he suddenly sat in the chair beside me and reached out his arms to my armchair, grabbed it, and pulled it towards him. Then he leaned his head looking down on mine, and now we are a breath apart. That if I turned my head to his side, we would probably kiss. It was so awkward and my heart was racing. I was just wondering if there is something in my face that bothers you. Since these past few days, I caught you staring at me. And when I catch you, you automatically set your gaze at something else. Jacob asked. Yes, there is something wrong in your face. I find it cute. My God, I'm so cheesy. Anyway, I took a deep breath and calmed down. Oh, about that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's just, there's a booger in your face and I don't know how to tell you. Of course I lied. Oh my God, I don't really know what I was thinking that time. It's just the feeling. It's foreign to me and I don't know what to do. Then Jacob smiled. He gave me this little laugh and said, "You're funny, you know." Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen today. Thank God for the blessing. I know there's no booger in my face. You just made it up. Why is that? He asked. Nothing really. I'm just, you see, the class is about to start, so better go back to your seat. Slightly pushing his chair away while making this pretty awkward smile. Starting that day, Jacob constantly teasing me and making cute faces. Well, the cute face part is maybe just my imagination, but you get the point. Here and there we talked, giggled, teased each other, sometimes competed in a good way. It was good. That foreign feeling was growing inside of me. I was lost in his dreamy eyes that I forgot to see reality. I was so consumed by his manly but calm voice that I was drowned in, dreaming. In short, I was distracted. And reality hit me. It started with my grades. I was so calm to the feeling that I wasn't able to focus on my priorities. It's not just because of me being in love with Jacob, but being with him, I get to interact with his friends too, where the door to temptations opened. I get to skip my part-time job just to hang out with them. That includes being exposed to drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and smoking weed. Don't get me wrong, Jacob is a good person, but that doesn't mean some of his friends are good too. You see, I was so close with his friends that to the point that sometimes we hang out without Jacob. His friends knew that Jacob didn't like the idea of alcohol and stuff. That's why they didn't bother to invite him the last time we hung out. That was also the time they tricked me. I thought he was gonna be there, but instead of telling me the truth, they started to pour me alcohol until I got drunk and did things I soon regretted. I was high and it felt good. I was elevating. I forgot all my worries in life just like that. Then a quick flashback occurred and I snapped out of it for a second, thinking I shouldn't have done this. This was wrong. But I was too high, it doesn't matter anymore. I started hanging out with his friends too often, with or without Jacob. So why would I still hang out with them knowing that they're bad influences and lying to Jacob? The reason is actually simple. They told me they liked me. They wanted me in the inner circle. And the thought that I didn't have any friends my whole life was scaring me. So instead of seeing it as a negative energy, I saw it as an opportunity. An opportunity that I think that time I can finally have friends. People that care for me. Even if it includes lying to Jacob about certain stuff. I was in my early 20s at that time, and I was still naive. All these years I was so focused on only two things in life, work and school, that I forgot that there are many factors in that can affect me, and here comes one. I wasn't prepared for it. Again, reality hit me. This time, my mental and physical health. I was so worn out I can barely keep up with my studies and part-time job. Because of my recent behavior, I failed my exams, which lead to failing grades. Jacob was confused and seemed suspicious about me and his friends. Also, my boss was starting to fire me. and eventually, he did. I lost the only thing that is keeping me alive. Without money, I cannot pay my tuition or sustain myself with food in order to survive, and I failed multiple subjects in my class. Jacob didn't notice about the night outs, the smoking and stuff, because his friends were careful about keeping it a secret. But just like what they say, truth will prevail, and it did. He found out when I didn't show up for class for how many days. Someone knocked at my door in my apartment. Nobody answered. Someone knocked again, this time harder. Still, nobody answered. Then the door opened. Hello? Said someone. Hey Maddie, I know you're in here. Your landlady told me she saw you in here, and it's not looking good. That's why she gave me the spare key. She was worried about you, and so am I. Turns out it was Jacob. I recognized his manly voice, and that soon, he was mad, but still calm. That's one of the reasons why I love him. The landlady basically knew him, that is why she entrusted him the spare key to my apartment. She's actually a good person, and is generally worried about me, and I let them down. Maddie, please answer me, I'm begging you. Jacob pleaded while looking around. I wish I could answer Jacob, but I can't. I wish you could hear me, but you can't. Maddie! At that moment, Jacob's scream was the last thing I remembered. I woke up the next day. I was already in the hospital. I saw my landlady putting fresh daisies on the vases on the table beside me. Oh, hi there. Good morning. The landlady greeted me with a warm smile. I remember my mom. She was like this before my dad died. I was so young when that happened. He died from a heart attack while we were celebrating my 14th birthday. My mom was so devastated that she forgot she still had me. After a year, she even brings home a man out of nowhere without asking me or even checking up on me if I'm still breathing or if I'm okay. That man became my stepfather really quickly. He is an addict, by the way, and he made my mom forget all her sorrows, including me, with drugs. I was so furious and sad and I didn't know anymore. So I stayed silent, hoping for my mom would wake up in reality and make the stranger go away. I was hoping for better days, but it didn't happen. It only got worse by the time my stepfather started to look at me as a woman. One night, in my bed, I was about to sleep, but I couldn't, because there was a voice in my head that kept on bugging me, telling me to go, to run away. I didn't really pay attention to it, but at that moment, I didn't know why, but my heart was pounding. Then, there was a knock on my door. Knock, knock. I didn't answer. I was confused. When I say knock, knock, aren't you supposed to answer, who's there? It was my stepfather. He wasn't supposed to be up that late. He's usually sleeping like a dog with my mom in the room with all the smoking and stuff. But that night, it's unusual. I said, knock, knock, open this door. Come out and play, Mary. Haha. At that point in my life, I didn't think anymore. It was all survival instinct. I grabbed whatever I could and as quickly as possible. I put on the jacket my dad gave me on my birthday and slid through the window. Like what the voice in my head told me, I ran away. I was only 15 years old at that time. My horrible past flashed before my eyes. My tears built into my eyelids, ready to fall off any time. But I was thinking, I was so young back then, and yet I survived. Good morning po. I smiled brightly. Oh, there it is. I missed your wonderful smile, my dear, said the landlady. This feeling, it felt nostalgic. I know this feeling, this heartwarming feeling that melts you inside. That feeling when you're so cold and you put on your big fluffy sweater and you're sitting on a very soft sofa in front of the fireplace while drinking hot chocolate with marshmallow in it. Ooh, love. And yet, the feeling of having a motherly love is way better. I missed it. The old days where everything was so good. Jacob was up all night taking care of you, so I let him rest for now. But don't worry, dear. I'm here. I don't really understand why, but the moment she said that, I burst out crying. She hugged and patted me, and I hugged her even tighter. I was so fed up with the thought that I don't have any friends and no one knows or cares for me that I seem to overlook one important fact. There are people who genuinely care about me, but I failed to see it because I wanted something more. I was being selfish and greedy that I lost sight of my priorities, lied and kept secrets to the person I love. For what? For temporary happiness? I really was naive. From that point of my life, I look up and thank God that He gave me another chance to live, another chance to redeem myself. I was about to die if Jacob didn't force his entry into my apartment. He found me in the bathroom where I attempted to drown myself in the tub. Looking back, I survived a pretty huge deal of tragedies in my life that made me go beyond my limits. All those failures and trauma made me strong, that no matter how hard, worse life can get, it will never beat me. I'm a survivor. I am strong, brilliant, independent woman. Wait, why did I decide to tell my story again? Oh yes, I'm currently reading this very old paper, like a decade old, that says, "What would my life will be 10 years from now?" I just got home from New York for some work stuff, and I decided to visit my landlady here in the Philippines because I miss her so much. I was gonna surprise her, but I was more surprised when she said, "Go check out some of your old stuff from college, my dear." And without further ado, I checked all the boxes with a bunch of things, memories from college. I can't believe she kept all of these for years. Yep, it's exciting. Then my hand landed on a piece of paper that made me reminisce about my past and how far I'd come. I really was just messing around when I wrote that essay, and I didn't think that I would make it this far. Life really is full of wonder. By the way, if you're wondering what happened to Jacob, well, nah, we're good. We parted ways after the incident and decided to focus on ourselves and building our careers on our own because it's for the best. Now look at me, a CEO of a company putting my big fluffy sweater, sitting on a very comfy sofa drinking hot chocolate with marshmallow in it with everyone, including the man of my life, on Christmas Eve. Yes, I'm married. Then I look at my wedding ring. I smiled when I read what was engraved on it out loud. Jacob and Mary Antoinette. The end. P.S. The MAD from Mad Construction Corporation isn't short for Maddie. Maddie is just a nickname for Mary Antoinette Diller, and that's my real name.
They'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together.